Yo, what is up, my McLary's? This is CamMac2.8, and we're here with another reaction video of Jack, Jack Dester, Ratchet and Clank, or Sly Cooper. Which PS2 platformer is aged best? Now, I grew up on PlayStation. Ratchet Clank. I'm not gonna do the your order. Ratchet Clank, Sly Cooper, Jack Dester. You gotta see my fingers. Uncharted and God of War. Those are my top five games of all time. And I grew up on PlayStation. Those are my top five games of all time. Cross platform, I don't know. On Red Dead Redemption 2. But anyway, Need for Speed. Why not? Yeah, Need for Speed is the game. But bruh, let me get the memory cards out of here. Ratchet Clank, bro. Let me show all my collection of my games. Let me go right here. Let me go eh, eh, right there. There we go. Here, look. On a PS2. Can you guys ever hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, yeah, you guys can hear me. Up your arsenal. That deadlock. Up your arsenal. Deadlock. Two spin-off games. Secret Agent Clank. That's Ratchet Clank Sauce Matter. And Secret Agent Clank. Sly Cooper. Sly 2. Sly 3. Jack and Dexter. Jack 2, Jack 3. I did not get Jack S Combat Racing yet. Jack and Dexter Lost Frontier, God of War, God of War 2. All right, now I'm going to PS3. I'm not even done yet. Hold up. I'm gonna let you guys know how much of a nerd I am. Ratchet Clank Collection. This was the first ever Ratchet Clank game I ever played in my life when I was a kid. And this one here, one of my favorite Ratchet Clank games of all time. Two from the PS2 are Up Your Arsenal at Deadlock. PS3 is Tools of Destruction. I got Quest for Booty right here. Right here is one of my favorite PS3 game of all time. Ratchet Clank: The Crack of Time. This it's oh my god, bro, it's just good. All for one. I did not get full frontal assault because the game is ass. And Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus. And I got Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time, Jack and Dexter Collection, God of War 3. Here we go. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I'm not done yet. Uncharted 4, you can see right here. Oh, yeah, right here. It's upside down. Uncharted, Nathan Drake Collection. Oh, shit, I forgot about this game. Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. God of War. Oh, I also got the Ratchet Clank remake on the PS4, but it's downloadable. Ratchet Clank Rift Apart. That's the one of my top. This so Ratchet Clank Rift Apart, Twisted Destruction, Crack of Time, Ratchet Deadlock, and Up Your Arsenal are my top five Ratchet Clank game of all time. And the last one, God of War Ragnarok. That is how much of a nerd I am, and I stand by that too. This video is I right now. It's almost to what we've been 4 minutes already. I don't give a crap. Let's go ahead and react to this. Let's see what this guy feel about this too. And in the next video, I'm gonna do this right here. I just realized this is new, so oh my god. Okay, for me, Jack and Dexter, Ratchet Clank, and Sly Cooper. I gave all those games an A. I did a ranking. I did a rank of the game. I ranked this all an A. But which one is better? Ratchet Clank, the first one. I like the Ratchet Clank, the first one. Right up there. Second one is Sly, and third Jack and Dexter. And there didn't you know, I'm gonna say this in the next one right here. But let's go ahead and react to this. Bro, I thought I ended the recording right there. Holy shit.
I recently replayed Jak and Daxter,
Yes,
Ratchet and
sir.
Clank, and Sly
Yes,
Cooper,
sir.
the big three platformers of the PS2 era. And one of
And
them
it
feels
is
surprisingly modern,
this
one of
day.
them hasn't aged nearly as well as people remember, and
I'm getting skill frames right. Oh no, never mind. It's still to this day one of the best PS2 platformer games of all time. Is Shadow Colossus count too? Because Shadow Colossus is a good game. God of Warriors too. I did that six. Is that literally the only PlayStation games that came out? Oh, that Kingdom Hearts. That Kingdom Hearts. One and two. Devil May Cry. Yeah. Um, that's a reaction. I just talking right now.
one of them completely flipped my opinion. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is, which one of them holds up today? Starting with
Cool
Sly, and
story.
honestly, this is where the aged conversation gets tricky. Sly relies on kind of a comic book aesthetic, but the
Yeah.
delivery feels thin, and most of the story is told through still images with voiceovers. But the real issue is that the plot is very simple. You start the game with one goal, getting your family's book back, and it
Yeah.
never really goes beyond that. There is no major twists or character shifts. While it's stylish, it lacks cinematic energy. It just didn't have the same sense of scale or growth as the
He
other
ain't
two.
wrong.
Jak and Daxter
He's
is a
not
step
wrong.
up. The goal is
Right.
simple.
It is.
Turn Daxter back to normal. But where this beats Sly is the world building. As the game opens up, the mystery of the precursors kind of takes over. You're constantly finding these massive ancient machines and cities that are just left behind by a civilization that just vanished. It gives the world a sense of scale
But
and
it's a good
history
game,
that makes
though.
it feel much deeper than just the standard platformer. But the winner here is easily Ratchet and Clank. The story
My
here is kind of gritty.
childhood.
It's a satire of corporate greed that feels more relevant in 2026 than it did back in 2002. But the real standout to me is the friction about halfway through between Ratchet and Clank themselves. They actually
Yes.
have a falling out. Ratchet's
Yes.
obsessed with Captain Quark, and it makes
Yes.
him act like a genuine jerk.
Our
And that
Peach and
conflict
Warman.
between the two characters
The guy
gives
who
it a
voiced
level
Captain
of depth
Quark.
that the other two just
Captain
don't
Quark.
follow up on. The
Captain
verdict,
Quark.
Jak has better lore, Sly has got more of an artistic style, but Ratchet and Clank, in my opinion, has the best writing and humor and the most modern character arc. Starting with Ratchet, and man, does he just feel heavy. It's like he's got weights in his shoes. The biggest problem here, I think, is the lack of strafing. You're constantly fighting with Ratchet to get him to aim at enemies. He does have the helipack movement, but outside of that, just moving Ratchet around feels clunky and slow. Compared to modern
I glad that ass drafting to the next game and continue on to this day. Cause bruh, oh wow. I understand he got like there's a hover pack that you technically draft, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not.
standards, Ratchet is easily the most dated feeling of the three here. Next up is Sly, and he's definitely a step up from Ratchet's tanky, kind of slow controls. But he comes with a catch. Sly's movement is all about context-sensitive actions. Basically, you jump near a pipe or a ledge and you tap or hold circle, and the game essentially does the rest for you. It really looks good, but it feels like you're platforming with safety rails on. You don't have a lot of creative freedom, and you're basically just going where the game wants you to go and where the magnet will pull you to. Then we get to Jak, and this is where you realize why people still talk about this game even in 2026. Jak 1 feels liquid. There's almost zero input lag. You're constantly combining the spin attack with the double jump to just get a little bit more distance, combining it with the head slam to get a little bit more height, or just a roll into a long jump just to get around the map
you guys
that
see
little bit
friends in
faster.
this video.
It feels
I'm
better
sorry.
than most modern
I can't do nothing
platformers, in
about
my
that. I'm
opinion.
trying
The
everything
verdict
with it.
is Ratchet is too heavy, Sly feels a little bit too automated for me, but Jak and Daxter offers the pure, snappy,
I like Sly
unadulterated
Cooper better.
controls that should be in a 3D platformer. I think round 2 definitely goes to Jak. I think let's
Combat.
just look at
Ooh.
Sly first. Combat here really isn't
It
the focus of the
it's
game. It's more of a
this is
penalty
basically
for
Crash
failing
Bandicoot.
stealth. Most enemies are a 1 to 2 hit kill, but you
Yeah,
yourself are just as
yeah,
fragile.
they
It
are.
works for a stealth game. Don't get me wrong, I think that this is fantastic for a stealth game, but compared to the other two in this category, it feels
Yeah,
very, very
it's
one-dimensional.
this
In
is
the
a
grand
Crash
scheme of
Bandicoot
things,
game
Ratchet should
right there.
take this. The variety of weapons is kind of legendary, but the lack of strafing makes the actual fighting feel terrible by today's standards.
Well, I feel
I
like Jack and
died
Daxter
quite a
would win
few
this in
times
this
just
video.
trying to get the auto lock to cooperate. It's
Oh damn.
clunky and frustrating,
Yeah.
and it's honestly surprised me how much the movement in this game holds back the combat. But that leaves us with Jack. It's very, very simple, but I think that it's more polished than Sly. You can combine all of his different moves in a lot more ways than you can with Sly, like the punch into an uppercut, into a spin. Even though enemies die in 1 to 2 hits, the real edge, I think, over the other two is the ecosystem. You can use blue eco for speed, yellow eco to shoot fireballs, or red eco to make your attacks stronger. I think it adds another layer of depth that makes it feel just a little bit better than the other two. Ratchet has got better guns, but Jack has got a better fight in 2026. I'd rather have a polished spin kick than a rocket launcher that I basically can't aim without standing still. I think round 3 goes to
Honestly,
Jack.
I agree.
Now, I just want to preface this section by
Ratchet
saying
Clank.
I think all of these games still look pretty good. Sure, they're a
Yes.
little dated. I think that the unique art style of each of them, whether it's the comic book style of Sly Cooper or the really over vibrant colors of Jack, they still work today. But how a game is structured, that's what defines how much you actually enjoy exploring it. Sly Cooper to me feels the most retro here. It follows a classic kind of hub and spoke model, but the real issue is the loading screens between each of them. Having to sit through a transition every time you have to enter a new area feels really fragmented. It feels like more of a polished
Ooh.
PS1 game than it did a next-gen PS2
That's scary.
evolution. And then Ratchet and Clank takes the
I
planet
hate
hopping
that they are
approach. I love how
rough.
every world in this feels
Yes.
unique with
Yes.
its own different atmosphere. While you
Yes.
still deal with loading into each planet, the scale and the environments
Bruh,
make that
Ratchet
kind
Clank
of
won this.
disconnect
They
between
won.
each of them worth it, in my opinion. But then there's Jack and Daxter. Even in 2026, the world, in my
Ratchet
opinion,
Clank
is a
won
masterpiece of
this.
immersion. There's 0 loading screens, and you could stand in a village and look over at the forbidden jungle in the distance and just walk there. It makes the world feel like a cohesive, living
Yeah, you can
place.
walk there,
The verdict. I love exploring all 3 of these games, but in terms of pure immersion, I think Jack and Daxter is on another level. It's a singular living world rather than just a collection of stages. I think round 4 definitely goes to Jack. Finally,
Ratchet
we
Clank.
have the music
Ratchet
and sound
Clank.
design. This is probably the hardest category to judge because
Ratchet
all 3 of
Clank.
these games
Ratchet
use
Clank.
sound
Ratchet and
perfectly,
Clank.
in my opinion, to capture their atmosphere.
Ratchet and Clank. Oh my god. It's vibey.
I really do think they all sound incredible, but in my opinion, I think Sly Cooper actually does something really special. I really loved the small sound effects that sync up with your movement in the game, like the little guitar strings that play exactly when you're creeping along an edge.
Oh my god,
It makes the world feel like kind of like a living
good.
cartoon. I really did enjoy Ratchet's like kind of industrial grit type of music,
Bro,
and
Novelist
Jack's ambient world are
music
great,
is
but
so
Sly's
fire.
soundtrack feels like
Core
it's
2.
actually a part of your gameplay. The verdict, all 3 of these, in my opinion, are 10 out of 10s for music. But the extra layer of charm, I have to give this one to Sly Cooper. So tallying all of the points here, Ratchet and Clank definitely took the story for me. I think Sly Cooper took the music to just a little bit higher than the other 2, but I think what makes Jack and Daxter hold up in 2026 compared to the other 2 are the controls, the combat, and the level design. I think that this makes Jack the winner by far. It's the game that feels the most modern and fluid to play even in 2026. But replaying all of these back to back for this video really highlighted the gaps between them. While they all belong to the same legendary Atari
I
era,
like that
seeing
move.
how they handle side by side made it clear that these studios also had really different priorities. But even with their flaws, I think that these games have more personality than most AAA titles that release today. And if you had to pick one to play through right now, which one are you going to grab? Is it Jak and
Ratchet Clank.
Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, or Sly Cooper? Let me know in the comments which one you think aged best. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I don't know what this video gonna be right here. Oh. That could be the next time I watch this for y'all guys. But yeah, if y'all got, for me, Ratchet Clank, it's up there for me. The first one. Sly Cooper is second, the first one, and the third one is the first Jak and Daxter game. But yeah, if y'all guys like this video right here, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more of this content like this. I mean, this too as well. But see you guys in the next one.